We're with Representative Tina Orwall from the 33rd District. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
So this week we saw you on the news talking about air quality.
Yes, well, a big part of my district is the airport. In fact, it's the fastest growing airport in the United States. And though it brings jobs and it's an economic engine for our area, it also impacts our quality of life. And so one of the things we're working on is with the University of Washington to look at air quality issues, including what's called ultrafine particles. And these are associated with actually aircraft. And what they do is they stream down from airplanes taking off or landing, and they actually go all the way down to the ground and can affect people in the community in pretty high concentrations. And so the University of Washington looked at it in a study at LAX, and we'd like them to do that work and look at the footprint around our airport so we can understand the impact.
You have a history of working on bills that protect victims of abuse, sexual abuse or domestic abuse. And this session you have two bills that have to do with human trafficking?
Yes, and sadly in our community in South King County we have one of the highest rates of trafficking in the United States. And it affects, often people think that's maybe out of the country, people coming in, which can be part of it, but actually it impacts a lot of young women living in our community as young as middle school or high school. And so we're really trying to see how do we help the victims and how do we help people after they get out of the industry, the survivors. One of the things that happens is when somebody like a young woman tries to leave this industry, she's threatened. And she can have threats against her life, her family's life. And we realize we could be doing more in the courts around no contact orders to protect these young survivors so that they feel safe to be able to move on and rebuild their lives. And so I've been working with the AG on legislation that will really allow the ability to be protected, and will help law enforcement when they see these young survivors in the community if they're having problems to be able to help them.
And your other bill is also about, after they manage to get out of this life, then they can start over.
Right. And again, trying to help survivors, which we know the median age is like 14 years old now, so we're talking about really often young women and girls in this industry. And it may take 3 or 4 years till they're able to get somewhere safe and rebuild their life. But the problem is they're often maybe have been arrested for various crimes, including prostitution. And it's hard enough that they have the trauma and they're surviving what was horrific abuse, but then they often have to deal with these charges. So we're trying to see how they can vacate these charges so they can go back to school and they can get housing and a job and really move on with their lives and try to leave that part behind.
All right, well, thank you for your input, and we'll catch you next time.